Creed 3. Now, before I dive into this whole video, my whole spill, and get into this conversation with y'all, just know that this is going to be filled with spoilers. All right, so if you haven't watched the movie already, get the fuck. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. All right, so Creed 3. This movie shifted my perspective, just my overall view and just imagination for where, like, of boxing movies, just how far a director, a whole creative team, a director leading the whole creative team to create a boxing movie. It just, like, this movie just elevated. It just elevated my perspective on boxing movies as a whole, right? Now, all in all, you know, in all honesty, I never was like a huge fanatic of boxing movies to begin with. Okay, like it all began with Creed 1 back in 2015, then following Creed 2 in 2018, then Creed 3 2023. Bars. So all those Rocky movies, like Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think is where it finished, or 4, I can't remember. I never watched any of those. Okay, I know who Rocky Balboa is, but have I watched the movies in their entirety? No. I'm just keeping it a thou wow with y'all, okay? But Creed 3 is just like the previous Creed movies. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. But this one just, like, it took boxing to another level. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Michael B. Jordan, he directed this movie. This is his directorial debut. I say he did a phenomenal job. Shout out to you, Michael B. You did your thing on this, all right? Respect. So for his directorial debut on this, I know there was a good amount of pressure, okay? Especially, you know, at the level of, like, his prestige, his fame, you know, his notoriety, it was a lot of pressure on him. Him being just, like, coming from the acting side and now diving into director side, those are two completely different sides, okay? Two different animals. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure involved. I can't imagine what it's like, but, you know, he's a solid actor, and after seeing this movie, I can say he's a solid director. From his perspective, his eye for things in this movie, it's like no other. And I even watched the behind the scenes of him talking, like, what it's like being a director for the first time in his career, and being in the editing room, and it's crazy because, you know, he said, like, while he's in the midst of those fighting scenes, like when he's fighting Drago, when he's fighting Damien, when he's fighting the other dude in South Africa or wherever in the movie, right? He's directing at the same time. Do you understand how difficult that is? How you gonna be fighting, throwing hands, and calling the shots, trying to figure out how to shoot a scene, and just all those different underlying elements that comes with being a director at the same time while you're fighting? Just think about that. That I can't imagine. There's just the sheer difficulty that comes with that. Cause, like, you can be in the midst of fighting, you'd be like, pow, pow, you know, and just like you got to think from a director's perspective too at the same time, not just the actor, but just a director too. So two ways of thinking. It's just multitasking at just its highest level. Okay. I can't imagine, bro. I can't imagine. I really can't. But he just he in that interview, I believe it was on GMA. Yeah, GMA. He just said like it was tough, really. I mean, I'll put a clip. You know what? Let him talk, okay? Instead of me talking for him. All right, check it out.
I got to ask you, what was the most challenging aspect? As we said, this was your debut as a director. Yeah. So you're in the ring. You got a mouth guard. You got to yell cut. How do you as you're also in a scene?
So the boxing part of it is probably the easiest. You know, I think the hard part is when you're acting in the scene and you feel like you're not giving your scene partner your all. So like yelling cut, I don't really yell cut. I kind of like get this little I would just little cut, you know what I'm saying, sign down below my waist so it wouldn't blow the shot up or anything like that. But my first AD, he would be like paying attention to me, so he would know when I'm getting out of a scene. But the hard part is time management, honestly, like being able to like prep, train, and prepare for the next day of shooting. That's probably like the hardest thing was.
So do you have the bug? You want to direct again?
I have to. Yeah, I have to. I want to, all the lessons that I learned on this first try, I want to get back at it and do it again. I love it.
So I'm not going to waste y'all time and give y'all a whole summary about the movie when you already watched it like that. That's a complete waste of time. All right, this is just a conversation between one fan to another, okay? Pros and cons with the movie, okay? I got way more pros than I have cons, okay? Like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Well, I only got like 2 cons on my list, all right? Let's go to the cons first. Just get them out of the way since it's only 2. First con. The final fight with him and Damien, okay? As spectacular as it was, it felt fast as hell, all right? You know, I like to reference hyperbolic time chamber, right? This leads into one of my pros.
What? I don't believe it. There's nothing here. We're surrounded by total emptiness. We're floating in a gigantic void.
Where in that final sequence with him and Damien, which was like 12 rounds, I believe, it was like after that second round, well, it was in the second round. Okay, it was in the second round. And it was like time like stood still. It was like him and Damien, Adonis and Damien were just like shut off from the rest of the world. And it was just like them zoning in on each other. Focus, like, pinpoint focus in that fight, right? And it was like they just blocked out all the outside noise. It was just them, as if they were just alone in the gym together, just sparring, right? That just gave me big hyperbolic time chamber vibes from Dragon Ball. And it's just like when Goku and Vegeta be fighting in there, it's like time in the time chamber goes by a lot quicker than time in the outside world, right? It's like 1 hour outside is like a whole day in the hyperbolic time chamber, which is crazy. But yeah, that's basically what the whole situation was. And it was like that round 2, it just like skipped and like jumped to like round 12. And it was like, damn, like I really wanted to see like round 4, 5, 7, 8, like I want to see that struggle, like that. Like I want to see that tension just steadily rising instead of you just jump into the final round. But I mean, it was cool the way they did it though. That's why I wasn't entirely mad about it, because it was like them two being so close, all right, being pretty much brothers, right? It was like it added more emotional weight to it. It made that situation so heavy emotionally for the both of them, because they're brothers and they just like fighting each other. They got that much love and respect for each other, but then here they are fighting, for the champ spot, right? So yeah, it it was just so emotionally heavy in that scene. So I wasn't completely mad for them jumping to round 12, you know, because if they didn't have that scene, which I'd never seen in any boxing movie, period, you know, that was just so beautiful to really add more depth and meaning to their relationship and what they went through in the past, right? So that's one con. Then this movie jumping from round 2 to round 12 so quick. Second con, I wish they would have showed more of Damien's past, like with him in jail those 18 years, right? While Adonis was living a good life, you know, as a champ. That would have added more weight to Damien's ambition too, just to, you know, show, because like him coming out of jail from those 18 years, he had so much drive and ambition, like more than ever, to be at the top, right? Be at the top, take it all from Adonis, right? If we were given more context on what he went through, the struggle or whatever in jail, those 18 years, that would have really solidified his foundation, like his ambition that much more, and just made us feel that much more empathetic for him and his goals, you know, what he wants to do with his life, right? So it was like without that further context, we were kind of left shorthanded. I don't want to say empty-handed because we did get a little bit, but shorthanded. I'll say that much. All right, so we're going to go jump straight into these pros. Got a good amount, but first pro, you know, I know Michael B, he's a big Naruto fan. Very beginning of the movie, I saw it was like a Naruto, I can't remember if it was a plushie or a poster. One of the two, but I mean, I caught that right off the bat. Come on now. I mean, I'm a huge Naruto fan, bro. Okay. I love Naruto. Live and die by it. Another pro, storytelling. Storytelling is beautiful. Okay, Michael B, he really had like a clear direction where he wanted to take Adonis. And, you know, I noticed with the storytelling is like, he wanted to put more emphasis on others rather than him. Okay, because we already got enough of him already from Creed 1 and 2, right? Creed 3, I mean, sure, it's Creed, but, you know, he put more focus on one of his mentees, the boxers underneath him in his program. I forgot his name. Hold up. Felix Chavez, all right? One of his students that was supposed to go up against Drago, but didn't. He went up against Damien. Damien beat his ass. Okay, I mean, what did you expect? That man Damien, he got a heavy hit. All right, he's a heavy hitter. But Felix Chavez and his daughter, right? His daughter Amara, and yeah, I swear I saw most of the focus. Amara, Felix, and Damien. Those were the three main points of focus in this movie to me. Very curious, like the direction, especially like leading to the end of the movie, seeing Amara, you know, just like shadow boxing, you know, play boxing with her father, you know, after all the things are said and done. It's like, where's her story gonna go? Because this is really hinting, foreshadowing, like she's gonna be the next in line, you know, to uphold the mantle of Creed. I don't know. Gonna have to wait and see. Bars. Don't play with me. That's where I see like storytelling direction. That's where I see the story moving forward, because I feel like with Adonis, his story, I feel like that's that's done after this movie. I don't see any more movies focusing on him anymore. It's probably going to be more so maybe on Damien later, or Amara. Who knows? But for sure, I do see Michael B. Directing more boxing movies going forward. Most definitely. Other pros: intensity, sound effects, music, slow-mo sequences, like emphasis on slow motion. Okay, they took it up a notch with the slow motion in this movie. They took it to a next level. Okay, when Adonis was fighting that dude in the beginning, I forgot his name, in South Africa, that was like the very first bit of sequences where we saw the slow-mo in action. And I do recall Michael B mentioning in an interview before I watched this movie that they were using new technology to really amp that slow motion, take it to the next level. And I saw that, like, when he was like weaving, scanning his opponent, it just find like the opening, right? So he could just be like, bah, and just like when he weave, you saw that in like a slow motion. That was just so clean. That was so clean. That weaving, like you just saw it in the sweat, the detail. That was like my favorite part of the movie, just seeing those slow motion scenes. Come on now. But just the weaving, and when you punch, you can see the ripples in the dude's body. Just, come on now. With the sound effects, you can hear, like with the fast punches, you just like, and with like with the punch, you feel that punch. That's how impactful and intense the punches are. How fast they are. You can just feel how heavy they are. That's what these Creed movies excel at. That's what they excel at, man. Like just have an intensity, man. And the sound effects just make it that much more solid. All right, just make it that much more gritty, and just it's just, man, I love it, man. Music is definitely always appreciated, and just always like the icing on the cake, cherry on top of the cake, whatever. They had Kehlani in this joint, bro. I love Kehlani. I absolutely love her, man. Her vocals were just immaculate. That's probably one of my favorite songs off that album, Shadows. I love it. But music choices, selection, Dreamville was the one who produced the album. So phenomenal job. But that's pretty much all my pros, man. Like camera perspectives, color grading, the whole hyperbolic time chamber thing that I mentioned at the end, with the time skip to like the 12th round to wrap it all up. So much good things about this movie. Okay, but at the end of the day, words can't describe how awesome and just innovative this movie is. How it just takes boxing movies to a next level. Like, really, you just gonna have to watch it for yourself to experience it, and really, you'll understand from my perspective, all right, from my point of view, what I'm talking about, that next level. Because this is really like boxing movies, fighting movies, really, period, is just elevating every year. is with the constant upgrades in technology in the film industry, it's just only gonna keep going higher. Just gonna keep going higher, right? And I saw it. I saw a taste of it in this movie. Okay, from all the many pros I spoke about, you know, I just feel like that's just like the tip of the iceberg going forward. You know, right now in this point in time, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Because there's so much, you know, good stuff with this movie, and you know, only a few cons, only a few bad things I can really speak on. But that's just me like nitpicking, okay? Because I really did enjoy this movie thoroughly, okay? Nitpick aside, I had a good time. Bars. Don't play with me. But but I don't really feel like rating this movie, to be honest with y'all. You know, on IMDb, what do they give it? Let me see what they gave it. They gave this movie a 7.4 out of 10. Rate it however you want to rate it. All right. I could care less about the rating. You know, I really more so care about, did I have a good time? Did I have a bad time? Or was it mid? Really, that's pretty much the ratings I would give a movie. I had a good time. Okay. I don't be number ratings, you know, I'm pretty much off that. You know, I just form my own opinion. I go watch a movie, experience it firsthand, and just go off of that, you know. So yeah, guys, hey, y'all let me know what's up. Like, did y'all enjoy the movie? Was it mid? Was it bad? Let's have a healthy discussion in the comments down below. Yes, sir. But hey, that's pretty much it from me. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.